Hi everyone, welcome to another movie review with me, MovieManCHAD, cousin Rich. We're gonna strap in for the big Marvel movie that just got released this weekend, July 17th, which is tomorrow. Of course, we saw it in advance just a night before. There it is, Ant-Man. We got these cool posters. We saw it in IMAX 3D. Yeah. Or I would say Diet IMAX, not really the real IMAX. But the sound here is really great at this AMC. So there's the cool posters that they gave us. Can you see that? All right, and we saw it in 3D. I didn't know much about Ant-Man before seeing this movie. On a story level, I just knew all the controversy. At one time, Edgar Wright, the great director Edgar Wright, was going to direct it, and then Marvel, I don't know what happened. They fired him or changed him. They put in Peyton Reed, who's done some good and okay films. But though, you know, Edgar Wright and Adam McKay and I think Joe Kernish, who's worked with Edgar Wright, are all attached in the screenplay. So I only knew more about the kind of the controversy, the backstory of how this movie actually came to be. We all know that Paul Rudd is playing the lead character as Ant-Man, Michael Douglas, Evangeline, Corey Stoll, Michael Pena. Anybody else did you recognize in the movie? But now give me a thing, we're trying not going to do any spoilers, so don't spoil anything like a certain other person that's in this film. Oh. We don't want to spoil anything. But I think T.I. was in this. T.I. was in this, yeah. And, you know, so I know we're probably forgetting somebody. Totally apologize, but I don't want to like say out another name of someone who's in this movie because I don't want to spoil anything for the film. So cousin Rich, as someone who's read the comic book, I have never really cared, never even really heard about Ant-Man until like 2 years ago. That actually was a thing. So having read the comic book, cousin Rich, tell us your opinion about this film.
Marvel does it again. I mean, come on, like, I feel like every time we do this review, it's going to be the same thing, but it's not like it's a boring thing to do because grew up reading all the comics, and I mean, it was like all my money went to it. It was like every week my allowance, I would walk down to the grocery store or the liquor store, wherever the comic books were that were coming out that week that I needed, and I just remember having like walls and boxes with your little brother Jeff. I mean, I'm a total junkie of Marvel and DC, but Marvel has just continued to do what I always dreamed of, and that is to take what they did so well in the pages of their comic books and bring it to the screen. And I mean, that's every one of us that is watching this review that grew up in the 80s and 90s and even 70s and 60s has dreamed about. I mean, this is what we all talked about. This was like the constant conversation that you would talk through college, through high school, through grade school, your whole life, of just what it would be like to see this, you know, in real life as far as like on a movie screen. And I have to say, when you go to see this, it is going to be awesome. I mean, there's some scenes at the end that were beautiful, man. Like,
don't spoil anything. You know you want to.
I know, man.
Without spoiling anything, do stay at the end of the credits. Like, there are two extra scenes at the end of the credits. One that happens after the credits, and then one that happens after the credits. So make sure you keep that in mind. It's a Marvel movie. You got to stay, but there are two crucial scenes. Got to stay till the very end.
Yes. Stay until the very last like words come up, and then you'll get the final second cameo.
Well, coming from someone who, you know, grew up with comic books, of course, and collected them for a while until they killed Superman and then brought him back to life, that kind of killed my experience of comic books. But, you know, I love what Marvel and DC are doing, whether I love the movies or not that they're doing. I love that we do live in a world where that is another option. You know, we do have I love the dramas and the comedies and the action movies and the foreign language and the documentaries, but I also want the superhero movies to exist as well. I just want them to have compelling stories, compelling characters, great special effects, interesting ideas thrown there, especially for people in the audience who don't care about comic books. There is a part of the audience out there that just wants to be entertained. At the same time, feel like they've had an experience. And all my attitude before Ant-Man, honestly, was just like, I like Paul Rudd. I like the cast.
Love Paul Rudd.
I'm sad that Edgar Wright's not directing the film anymore, because I love Edgar Wright, and you know, if he probably would have directed this movie, this would probably been his first big hit in the theater, because for some reason his movies are hailed by critics and fans, but nobody goes and sees them, and then later down the line they're considered classics. But Edgar Wright is still attached to some way through his screenplay. And so that was kind of going through my mind as I was going to see the film. Now that I've seen and come out of this movie, which we did see in 3D and in IMAX, first off, the sound is incredible. The 3D was great. This is the best shrinking movie since Honey, I Shrunk the Kids from 1989. Just the way they utilized...
Crazy, it's been 26 years since
think about
something that good.
Well,
and then before then, it was Interstellar. which was a shrinking movie. Dude, you want to go on that trip, dude? Interstellar, dude.
No, so like the shrinking element was
not Interstellar. What was it?
Inner Space.
Inner Space.
Yeah, Inner Space. That's a great shrinking movie, Interstellar. Though I was watching this movie and I was thinking a little bit of Interstellar. I'm not going to say where. I don't want to spoil it. Yeah. So, great characters. Paul Rudd is great in this film. Michael Pena, he's so funny in this movie. He plays his buddy that helps him get out of prison.
He's always been like a secondary character, but like I love him.
He's a secondary character in this movie too. But he's a great secondary character.
Great, man. He's got his niche, dude. Michael
Douglas, which you get in the beginning, you get to see him in 1989, and I thought the special effects and whatever they did, the digital effects for him, really, it was like, wow, Michael Douglas.
I said that too at the beginning of the movie. I
Wall
said,
Street.
dude.
What's his Gordon Gekko.
Yeah.
So,
dude, like, I'm serious. You're going to see the beginning, and that's where we're at. I know I've stated this before, but Marvel is probably the best at doing CGI so far, and maybe DC too.
So the CGI is great in this film.
The CGI is great, but when you see Michael Douglas in the beginning of the movie, it does not, and I swear, like, I looked over at Chad in the theaters, and I said, oh my gosh, Michael Douglas looks like he's 20 years younger. Yeah. And I seriously thought it was some of that new, like, that new shit they're taking in Cuba or whatever with the, like, stem cells that we all know they're doing because, like, actors haven't aged in, like, 30 years. If you look
Cousin Rich is kicking in now.
You look at Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and they're allowed a day over 35, and they're both, like, 55. So let's just, like, throw that out the window now. We know they're on some type of age-stopping stuff. And Michael Douglas, for the beginning of the movie... took 20 years off just because he can do that, and then he put it back on at the end of the movie. And so whether it's CGI and we're just going with that, or if one day they'll finally just come out and say, hey, we can reverse age, you just got to have the right amount of money. You seen the movie Island? Come on, let's get real.
Can we go back to I'll tie back to the movie. When it comes to the story, I really cared about Paul Rudd's character. I can't remember what his name in the movie is, but I really cared about him. I cared about his journey. He has this situation where he has a young kid, and the young kid's being raised by...
I love seeing him as a superhero now, dude. That's awesome.
Paul Rudd is in the Marvel... There's some other people I don't want to say that now in the Marvel universe.
He's more than that now.
Yeah, so... but, you know, I like the story. I like this relationship he has with his daughter. And then also on top of that, Michael Douglas has a great relationship with his daughter in this movie, who's played by Evangeline from Lost. There's some really nice moments in here that actually I teared up and some tears came out. I had to wipe a couple tears off my face because it was... There was nice. I'm not going to say. I'm just saying there's some nice human moments in the movie. When it takes a break from all the action and the comic book stuff, there's some nice human moments in the film. Also, this is perfection when it comes to comic book origin stories. This is how I kind of feel the same way about Iron Man 1. So just really great origin to this character and how we get to know this character, how he ties into the Marvel universe, how it kind of I like some of the things that are not really given away, but how some of the characters kind of talk about other things that have happened in past films in a way where it's like, oh yeah, that happened over there. It wasn't like that important, but you know how it's so important in the movie that we're watching it, but the way they're talking about it sometimes, like, oh yeah, that was going on over there in another country, and I liked how the, you know, it's kind of self-aware of what's going on in this universe. I wouldn't really say
that's a spoiler per se, because we all know they're tied in, and it's basically... but it's just,
without telling you too much, I just like how it would kind of nod to some other films in the past. Since I think this is the final movie of Phase 1. No. I think this is the final movie of Phase 2, and then we're now into Phase 3. Like, everything after this Marvel, after the Ant-Man, is now Phase 3. So, if I'm wrong about that, we're into Phase 4, I don't know. I'm not a comic book guy. But what I will say is a movie fan first, and love superhero movies second. This is one of the best superhero movies, origin stories, comic book films I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the best films I've seen this year. Completely entertaining from beginning to end. I loved every itsy bitsy teeny tiny wincy kinsy lincy millisecond of this incredible film. It's completely entertaining, has heart, it's funny.
It's subatomic level.
Yeah, I mean, just, yes, yeah, I bet if you dissect it, you'll find maybe a plot hole here, a plot hole there. But when you're completely entertained, you just don't care. I thought the villain, Corey Stoll, as the Wasp, whatever he was a really great villain.
As
really
the Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket, sorry. Just had a fun time. Everybody's having a great time, and just we're so convincing in this film.
And I'm so happy to see Michael Douglas in Marvel.
Yeah, Michael Douglas.
I love the fact that by the end of all of the phases by 2020, probably, because we
maybe more like 2040, maybe or 2050,
okay,
or 3000.
I'm just saying, by 2020, 2030, you're probably gonna have like all of your favorite actors in there. I mean, eventually it's gonna be like Expendables 45, except it's gonna be Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just gonna constantly have all your favorite actors, and I love that. Like, they've all got a niche.
But that could also be a bad thing, so hopefully just don't I don't know, drown us out with too much, you know. Try and keep it original and fun and light, and I think the movie does a great job at making it fun and entertaining. It's very funny. There's a lot of great side gags.
Definitely.
There's a lot of great cool stuff that I would count at least 10, 15 times where I went, wow, or that's cool, or that's awesome. I love this. This is so much fun, and I didn't expect this at all. So maybe that's why I love the movie so much. I wasn't expecting this movie to come off so perfectly, and I'm looking forward to where Ant-Man's going and where it's actually headed and part of this universe now. You know, Avengers 2 is one of my favorite movies of the year, and I think, and one of the best Marvel movies. But man, I think Ant-Man might be tied or right above Avengers 2. Just because I just had so much fun. I felt like a kid again, opening up, you know, the comic books when I was a kid, when I actually cared about comic books. Because I don't care about comic books anymore. But yeah, it made me feel like a kid again. Open up those comic books.
You should always love comic books.
I'm glad they exist. But I honestly,
if you want to see the future of the movies, you read the comics.
I would rather just go to the movies. I'll see the future of movies by attending the movie theater. Anyway, say a few more words and then we're gonna close it out.
Well, I definitely. I mean, I say that I highly recommend it. It's going to be a movie that you're going to put in your collection. You're going to watch over and over and over again. There's no doubt that it surpassed all my expectations, and my expectations right now of Marvel are through the roof already. And so I'm just so overjoyed that I can even set the bar so high and know now, like, just repeatedly, they just continually, I mean, let's be real, like, we all know that, like, there were certain ones like Hulk that kind of sucked, and some of the earlier ones where they screwed up with the original Fantastic Four, and then the reboot sucked too, and then hopefully this third reboot will be good. But, you know, I think that what we're seeing now out of the last, like, what, 7, 8 movies, it's just been rock star levels. From all 3 Iron Mans, both Avengers, both Thors, and both Captain Americas, and now Ant-Man. And I'm so looking forward to the next movie. And you definitely see it's coming, because you'll see that in the credits. That's pretty much what the little ending clips are. And you look forward to that now, because we know that's Marvel's thing now. They always show us where it ties in. And that's the beauty of what we're in now, is we're seeing a continuation. This is above and beyond, like, the James Bond series, where you got like 20 of them now. It's above and beyond the Harry Potter, where we had 8, but they were all phenomenal. This is like where we're going to see tie-ins over and over and over again, and they have like 50 or 60 years now of comic books that come out on a weekly basis. We're talking between all the different series, there's probably like 50 different comic books that they can peel out. We have an unlimited supply of entertainment coming. I just can't wait till they get to the point. I'm going to tell that this is my dream right here, is that they could get to the point where they could start doing these like on a monthly basis, because they have enough comic book characters, and I mean just different books in particular, that they could come out with one monthly and still the characters would only like get to come out once or twice every 2 or 3 years, you know, like they already do. But they've got so much material now that Disney owns them, and they own Lucasfilms. I mean, dude, they could, the sky's the limit. Let's just like, let's see some crazy stuff, dude, like Star Wars mixed in with a little bit of this stuff. Like, I'm down for whatever. Marvel rocks.
I don't want I don't want to be saturated. I want to wait every like 6 months for a movie without getting into too much detail. But going back to Ant-Man really quick, and then we'll say goodbye. I can't believe they took something that I thought was going to be so ridiculous and made it so worthwhile and so entertaining and very, very moving and touching at the same time. Love this film, and I can't wait to watch it again. If we had time right now, I'd go back in the theater and watch it one more time.
The little girl was a cute little girl. She
the whole cast, perfect.
She's what made you tear up, right?
Well, no, I don't want to get into it, but you know, it's between Michael Douglas and Avenger Lily that really teared me up, because there were some really nice moments. But anyways, we could talk about this movie forever in the comment box below. Have you seen Ant-Man? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let's start a dialogue. Talk about it.
4 out of 4 fingers, man.
4 out of 4 stars for me. Absolutely loved this film, and I really can't wait to watch it.
Go see it in 3D IMAX. Don't waste your time with anything else.
Yeah, 3D is great. Some of the best 3D I've seen in years.
You'll hate yourself later if you hear from other people besides us that tell you how good it was and you didn't do it first.
Yeah, so go see Ant-Man. Check it out. Form your own opinion. Cousin Rich, MovieManCHAD. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Diaz.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.